Okay, so I just finished completed solar panel installs on our 2015 Aliner Ranger 12. I wanted panels that could be removed from the top, from the dormer, and put off into the sun while we're parked in the shade. I wanted it to be permanently affixed to the top if I wanted it to be, or removable but secured on top of the dormer so it could just stay up there. So I came up with this design for these rails. Everything was pretty much bought at Home Depot. These are just aluminum rails, and I bolted or riveted into the aluminum frame of the front dormer. I made a separate panel. These are two 120 watt flexible panels, lightweight. They're about 4 pounds each. I made aluminum frame that can be taken off, like I said. I just kind of customed the aluminum frame with some aluminum struts that I had bought at Home Depot. And I glued with just some silicone the edges of the panel down to the top of the aluminum here. And so this is designed to be able to tilt forward, so once the dormer pops up, this is facing straight to the sky. So we can pull those little linch pins there and tilt it up and pivot off of the wing nuts here. I have some security clasps here that I can use a padlock. This is on both sides. I'll show you the other side here in a second. So these solar panels were bought from Solar Boulevard for about $130 a piece. So anyway, so far I'm really pleased with that. Here's the other side with all the wiring. So I just chose to wire these in series so that if I were to run more of an extension, like 30 feet from the plug-in spot to keep the panels in the sun, then I wouldn't lose any voltage. So they're rated about, I think, 6 amps and 20 volts. So I'm combining the voltage into 40, and I have a 20 amp charge controller from Renogy, the Commander, which I'll show you here. So I ordered off of powerworks.com these custom cables for all the connections that I wanted to use. So this is the power from the battery, or the leads from the battery. They run along the tongue here and up under into, I installed this from Home Depot. It's just a cable gland or junction box, whatever. So that's a 1-inch hole that I drilled through and then coated in silicone. Maybe there's a better sealant, but that's what I use. So here is the red and black wire coming from the battery up in to go up inside the trailer to the charge controller. And then since I'm down here, here are the photovoltaic wires coming from the solar panels. These, I believe, are 10 gauge. I opted for 8 gauge for these between the battery and the charge controller. So I have the Anderson 50 amp power pole connector here. I'm still working on this, I guess. This can come off. Okay, so these are my Anderson 50 amp power pole connectors. These are the custom wires I ordered. So I had this wire, the photovoltaics coming from the panel, shipped to me with this weatherproof cover, and then the other end is the MC4s. This side is coming from the charge controller to the solar panels. I just made this custom bracket. So this is how I can disconnect the panels if I need to. And then I can also, I ordered this 25 more feet of basically a extension to go between these two so that I can take the panels off, and I just unclip the wires like that. We'll see. I haven't really gone anywhere with this yet, so we'll see how that works. So as far as the wires from the solar panel to the charge controller via this connection here, I opted to not drill through the roof of my Aliner. And I don't think these clips are, they got these at Home Depot. I don't think these are rated for UV, so this is just a test of whether I want to run the wires this way, so I didn't want to commit to anything. So, and I also need these are quick release, so that I can take the undo the wires all the way up, and I ran them up the side here to the hinge point and then along and back over. So I can unclip the wires coming from the panels and then put in my extension cord to put the panels off in a remote location. So I wanted to do this just to see if this was going to work. We'll see if I keep it like this or not, but that's what I decided to do so I didn't have to drill in. Okay, so back into that's all the outside stuff. We'll go inside. I chose to put my charge controller here in the corner underneath the dinette seat, and so this is the Commander 20 amp charge controller. It's bigger than most, but it can handle the two panels that I have up there that are generating 240 watts total. So here's where I came in to the inside of the trailer. I opted to do it over in this corner to keep my wire runs on the outside shorter, because wire is expensive, but also because I had all this faucet, this shower stuff. I thought, well, the area is already sort of compromised, so then I just ran it along here. And then I have the MT50 monitor, and this is just using the 3M outside rated tape just to put here to see if this is where I want to keep it or not. So you can see the panels aren't directed to the sun. They're generating 14.7 volts and 0.5 amps because my battery is fully charged, basically. I'm still getting to get to know this this monitor here, but I just kind of rough this in here to see if that's where I want to keep the meter or not. Ideally I'd put the meter there, but I can't quite figure out how to get past the refrigerator, and I didn't want to go to the trouble right now. So that's it. Hope this helps somebody with their install.